Hello guys and welcome back to another Power Rankings. Now, I spoke of recently of to be one of the greatest TV series ever, you need to have had at least 8 seasons. So today I want to talk about some of the greatest TV shows ever that never broke that 8 season boundary. Kicking it off at number 5, Spartacus. Now, whether you want to call it Blood and Sand, Gods of the Arena, I can't remember what the other one was called. It's something to do with the Damned, Battle of the Damned or something like that, I think it was. But either way, each series they named it something completely different, and I think there was 4 seasons in total. Because they had 3 main series and they had a prequel one as well. People are calling the prequel not part of the actual series, they're calling it separately. Either way, even if you call it part of the series, there were still only 4. Now, when the writers first started talking about doing this show, they said it could go on for 10, 12, 14 seasons. This could last for a very long time, it could last forever. And we were super excited about that. And then they finish it off completely, no way to ever bring it back after only 4 series. Now, I am very disappointed in that because I absolutely love that show, and I really wish that they would bring it back. It's not going to happen, and I really wish they'd have not ended it the way that they had done and found a way to just keep on going with it. But either way, it is still one of my favourite shows to watch, and it's just a shame that they had to end it after only 4 series and ended it like that. Now, number 4, I actually thought had 8 series, but I found out that it hasn't even come close, I don't think. And there has been an American spin-off of it. Don't talk about the American spin-off, it didn't exist. The American spin-off is shite, let's just leave it at that. The show I am talking about, of course, is In-Betweeners. Now, people absolutely love In-Betweeners. It's arguably one of the best comedy TV shows that there has been, and it never broke that boundary of 8 seasons, and it's a shame. I'm pretty sure there's still a way to keep it going, get that 8 series, get it classed in as one of the greatest shows of all time, and then leave it there. That one is possible. So I mean, there's still potential for it to happen. I can't see it happening ever, but who knows? It may happen. It may get to break the 8 season mark one day. Now, another one that won't break that 8 season mark because of the way they ended it, at number 3 is Lost. Now, Lost from start to just about the finish, fantastic TV series, right up until you get to that last 10 minutes, roughly, give or take, and then, I don't know what the writers was thinking, but they might as well have just gone, it was all a dream! Because, let's be honest, why they ended the series the way they did, I have no idea. What was going through the writer's mind is completely beyond me, and there is absolutely no way after that end to redeem the series, unless they kind of do what they did with Dragon Ball and just go, yeah, that never happened, just ignore that, and then let's just go again from where it should have finished. Unless they did that, there was no way to continue it and to get it to be one of the greatest series ever at the 8 season mark, which is a shame, really. Now, another one that never even really came close to breaking that 8 season mark, and it currently has potential because it's just been remade, but I can't see it happening. Number 2 is Prison Break. Now, the original Prison Break had 4 series, and you even had episodes where it broke into other TV shows, like Breakout Kings. There was an episode involving Teabag. I mean, it was so good, it managed to make its way into other shows. And yet, here we are, only 4 seasons along, and with this sequel that they've made, there are 5 series, and I can't see it going beyond 5 seasons, quite honestly. I think this is going to be the last one that they do. Who knows? Let's hope it doesn't. Let's hope it still keeps going for quite a while and it does manage to break that 8 season mark, because it does deserve it. But if it doesn't, here it is. as one of the greatest shows to never break the 8-season mark. Now, before I get to my number 1 pick, there's quite a few honourable mentions that I want to mention. For instance, I want to mention Firefly, as that got cancelled on a massive cliffhanger, and for some reason everybody loves that show. It's one of the greatest shows ever, but it only ever had 1 season. How? Why? How can it be so good that it's classed as one of the greatest? Everybody talks about it, and it got cancelled after 1 season. I mean, really? How did that happen? 2 shows that haven't quite broke that boundary yet of 8 seasons is Flash and Arrow, and they both eventually will break that boundary, I have no doubts about it, but as of right now they haven't. Both Xena and Hercules, the original shows, neither of those ever broke that 8-season boundary. They both stopped at 6. So that's a real shame for them, because I think both of them were absolutely fantastic, especially Xena. Now, another one that's not quite broke it, but eventually will, I think, either in the next series or the series after it, it will definitely break it. That one's Walking Dead. So again, that's why it gets an honourable mention. It hasn't broke it yet, but it will break it soon. And one that was so close, Game of Thrones. Everyone is going to be crying out for that 8th season, and according to IMDb, on their series, there is actually an 8th series coming out next year. Everybody knows that's not going to happen though, because the one that's airing this year has already been announced. Season 7 is going to be the last ever series. So how IMDb can be saying that there's going to be an 8th series, I don't know. Who knows, it might happen. It may break that legendary series of 8 seasons, but I don't think it will. And I'm sure fans will be crying out all over the world to see that 8th season of Game of Thrones, and to make it that legendary thing that it, let's be honest, it kind of deserves to be. But not quite as much as number 1. The show that I've got at number 1 that never broke that 8-season marker is Breaking Bad. Now, it's a real shame Breaking Bad never actually broke that 8-season mark, because it is arguably one of the best TV shows ever, and if you include Better Call Saul, then sure, you can say that it's broke the 8-season mark. But Better Call Saul is a completely different show. It's nowhere near as good as Breaking Bad. And can you really count spin-offs as something that is part of the series? I don't think you can, not really, no. Spin-offs are completely different, because if you're going into that, Hercules also broke the 8-season thing by quite a bit, because Xena was a spin-off of Hercules. So if you're going into that, I mean, same way Flash is a spin-off of Arrow. I mean, if you're going into that, you can go really deep dark into it, and also mention Legends of Tomorrow, and I think even Supergirl and all that, they're all spinning off of each other these days. So you could say that that has already broke like a 20-season boundary. But we're not... you cannot class a spin-off as part of the show. It becomes its own entity when it becomes a spin-off. And which that makes Breaking Bad a real shame, really, that it never broke that 8-season mark, because I want to say that it is one of the best seasons and best series of all time. Unfortunately, I can't do that until it's had that 8-season mark, and there is currently talks, only chatter, but there is talks of bringing back Breaking Bad. Will it happen? I don't know. It's hard to say, really. But if they did, where would they go with the story with Jesse and Walter? How would they bring about that beautiful end that they had to extend it a bit? From start to finish, arguably one of the best series ever. If anyone disagrees with me and doesn't think that this deserves to be one of the greatest shows of all time, and doesn't deserve to hit the 8-season mark to become that thing, let me know in the comments below. And I will see you guys next week for another Power Rankings. It's been me for this week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!